Pleasant good morning to each and every one of us. Welcome to yet another beautiful day. My name is Simone Claxton, President and founder of the Sapphire Miriam Foundation, a nonprofit organization incorporated in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Just a disclaimer, we do not own the rights to that music, so we give credit to the songwriters and producers. Welcome everyone from near and far. I'm hailing you from the beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Give praise and thanks to God for health and strength and life, something we normally take for granted, but I truly give thanks to God. It's a privilege to be here yet another day. Had a lot of health challenges over the past year, so I'm really grateful to be alive. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Welcome to yet another year, another session. I can't believe this is our third year online, right, Ricardo? 2021, 2022, in 2023, and we had a 2019 session actually in person. So the program is really growing from strength to strength. It was conceived and developed in 2019, and wow, a number of years on, and it's growing from strength to strength and really developing. I'm glad to have you all from all over the globe. We have the UK, we have Dr. Nova and company, PAWAfrica UK joining us, partnering with us this year. We have ladies in Guyana, in Suriname. We have Tits and Caicos. We have Jade, supposed to be with us. We have St. Lucia. We have Dominica. We have a couple people from the US as well. So we're really, really glad to have you all on board. So just a brief greetings. We have my mom joining us in the UK, my daughter Sapphire as well, who the foundation is named after, my inspiration, Sapphire Miriam. Wow, so welcome, welcome everyone. So we're gonna open with a word of prayer. All right, let's have Debra from Dominica. So we'll have a quick word of prayer before we start our session today.
Wow. Let's turn into the presence of the Lord. Thank you, Spirit of Life, for this brand new, never ever before lived day. Bless everyone that is present. Guide our thoughts and our actions so that we bring it all for your glory. We lift every child, every girl up to you so that they know that an empowered girl is an empowered community. Thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thanks very much, Debra, for that. Great. So we want to say thanks to our sponsors, first of all, because without them, this would not be possible. Our financial partners, we have Trinidad Generation Unlimited, TGU, in South Trinidad. We have the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago on board as well this year with us again. We have the National Lotteries Control Board, NLCB, and we have Unit Trust Corporation. These companies have been with us for a number of years, and they continue to show their dedication towards supporting our cause and the young ladies. I want to thank all the young ladies who've joined in. Thank you very much for committing this time. We have 6 Saturdays, and then once per month after this, until our grand graduation ceremony in December. Okay, so we're all looking forward to that. Wonderful. So I won't keep you long. Today's session, we're going to be talking about social media safety, cultivating good social media habits, the pros and cons. As we know, social media has taken over the world. We cannot get away from it. So we have to just manage it in a safe way. Okay, so we have our experts on board with us. We have Mr. Ricardo Mitchell. We have Debra in Dominica, who is our ambassador there. And we also have a special young lady who has joined us for the past 2 years in the program, and she's now been assisting us. That is Savannah Green from Grenada, who's in Canada at the moment. Savannah has been a tremendous support in getting this program going this year. So I want to say a special thank you to her. She's now joined our team, and we're really grateful for her support. Okay. So I'm going to turn you over now to Mr. Mitchell. He's going to give us some brief words. However, we'll have some greetings after Mr. Mitchell from each organization. He's going to give us a quick intro with regards to what the name of the organization is and what their purpose is. So over to you, Mr. Mitchell, for greetings, our Media and Public Relations Director for the Sapphire Miriam Foundation. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Ricardo Mitchell, operating out of Trinidad and Tobago, the southernmost island of the Caribbean. I am truly honored to be here with you another year, to be surrounded by so many beautiful faces and loving spirits. And on the topic of beautiful faces, I am seeing a lot of screens with names, right? So we would encourage you guys to turn your cameras on so that, people could see the people that they're interacting with, because this is going to be an interactive year. Right? We want people to see the smiles, we want people to see the questions and the faces. And it is an important part of navigating social media, having the confidence to use the space that you are in. So prior to me going into my 15-minute, 20-minute rollout as to some of the dangers of social media, some of the pressures of social media, I want to encourage you guys to have fun, type your messages in the chat, ask your questions. When you're ready, turn on your mic and make your contributions. But I really look forward to having another great year with you guys. I'm going to do the best that I can to give you excellent content coming out of this so that you feel comfortable going over the episodes or even sharing it with your friends or people that you think it may benefit. So on behalf of the Sapphire Miriam Foundation, I would love to welcome you to the Dream Big Girls Empowerment Program 2023. It is truly an honor for us to be able to share this time with you. And no, it's not another school session, right? We're not doing it like that. Right? This is our group project. So I think now would be a good time to hand over to Debra of Let's Talk Dominica, Let's Talk One-to-One, to give you guys a brief introduction as to how she's going to contribute to the plan this year.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Ricardo. As usual, always a pleasure, being here and having you around. You've been a gem from the beginning, always inspiring us and helping us to move on. As Ricardo said, this is a project, and I would love to see those beautiful faces. I can see Shaquana, I can see Denise, I can see Savannah. Let me see those beautiful faces. Let's have a little bit courage and step out. We breaking boundaries this year. Semester 2023, here we come, ready or not. Let's see those beautiful faces. Yeah. And yeah. Odell is coming on. Tanisha, hello. Wow. Hello, I'm C. Samsung. You can just put in your name. There's an Ali. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I see Diane from Guyana. Wow, just turn it on. Let's see those beautiful faces. Yes, we're stepping out with courage. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, we're stepping out with courage. Come on, where are my Dominicans? Where are you guys? Team Dominica, where are you? 2022, we rock. There you are, you're coming on. Very good. Excellent. Well, as Ricardo said, I am Debra Charles-Mark of Talk One-to-One TLC. I created the Trilogy to Happiness. Yeah, this is a program I've created, and I do holistic counseling and stress therapy. So if you're feeling stressed out, just give me a call. Your big sister will, give you some tools and techniques, how to find your groove back, how to, to de-stress in a holistic way. And yeah, so I'm here throughout the program here to serve, and I'm grateful to be here. Yeah, keep those camera on. I just love to see your beautiful faces. Thank you. I thank you.
Thanks very much, Debra. Okay, let's have Dr. Nova from PAWAfrica in the UK. Bring greetings on behalf of our organization.
Yeah, hi, can you all hear me?
Sure, we can.
Fantastic. It's wonderful to be here. I think I'm glad that there's no morning here, so I had my morning. But PAWAfrica UK, PAW stands for Phenomenal African Woman, and we serve women from the African diaspora, whether you are a descendant of Africa or you're connected by marriage. And we look at really helping them. We help to inspire, celebrate, and empower women and young girls which is why we're very happy to be connecting with the Sapphire Miriam Foundation. So we look at 5 core areas, and that is health, empowerment, media, entrepreneurial development, and let me see the next one before I make a mistake. Leadership. So let me say that again. It's media and entertainment, health, empowerment, entrepreneurship, and leadership development. And so we help women across all of those areas. We've done a lot of different things, from colorism to breast cancer to mental health, all sorts of things. But anything to help women, especially Black women and young girls, know that you have what it takes to not just contribute to society, but to make a to play a vital part in moving society forward, and knowing that you are one of the best as well. Like, you're not second class or anything like that. You deserve to be there. So that's me.
Thanks very much, Dr. Nova, for your contribution. Fantastic areas on, just falls in line with what we're focusing with our young girls. Great to have you on board. And we have Rubia in Suriname, who's been very dedicated over the past few years in keeping her girls engaged. Let's hear greetings from Rubia.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Rubia Berghout. I'm from Suriname. Not 1 year, but we are very happy that we can participate in progress. We have doing so for the past 3 years, and we love our Suriname girls to deal with the rest of the Caribbean experience later. I'm from the SITA Foundation. That's a local foundation in Suriname. We focus mainly on teen youth empowerment, but empowerment, because we believe that by strengthening youth, we help build strong adults later. We do projects like ICT, coding with girls, boys, as well as talking about mental health, because we believe that mental health is something that we should carefully look around with all the things happening in the world. We are glad that we are part again for the 2023 of Dream Big project. We are very happy that Simone keeps pulling all of the countries and all of the islands to participate and tries to make a difference in the life of girls. And we will love to also this year have the Suriname ladies continue and finish the project. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks very much, Rubia. Really great to have you back on board. Thanks for your dedication, keeping your girls engaged. We have over 20-something girls from Suriname on board again this year, so we really look forward to you guys. We also have a couple of girls from Grenada as well. I see Angel is joining us. And talking about Grenada, let's have some greetings from our newest team member, Savannah. Savannah.
Good morning, everyone. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so bear with me. I am from Grenada, and I will be your peer mentor for this year. So that means feel free to reach out to me. I will send you my email, and don't be shy. Send me something on the chat as well. Currently, I am a communication student at Toronto Metropolitan University. So this is in Canada, and I love everything social media, everything to do with mass media. So if you're so into that, please let me know, and I'd love to have a chat with you. I'm looking forward to a great semester this year.
Thanks very much, Savannah. And as our peer mentor, I'd just like to make this announcement that Savannah will be our youth ambassador for this year. So she'll be interacting with the girls and representing the Sapphire Miriam Foundation in that capacity. So welcome on board, Savannah, as our peer mentor and youth ambassador for the Sapphire Miriam Foundation. Thank you. Wonderful, guys. So I'll turn you over to Mr. Ricardo Mitchell. We're going to start our topic of social media safety and cultivating positive social media habits.
Before I begin, see we have Diane is back with us. Diane, I don't know if you're in a position to give us a couple words from Guyana.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I bring greetings from Guyana. I'm Diane Wilson. I am representing Empire Plus. This is a non-governmental organization, and I bring my sincere greetings and blessings to all participants, heads of organization, one love to all. My little quote to you here is that, okay, there's a difference between job and work. Now, where job is it matters is that you've been paid to do a job, but in your work, you were born to do your work, and it is all blessed that no matter what happens, what comes your way, what negatives, what positive, what you've been paid for, pay keen attention, and what you were born to do, it's a blessing. Continue to do, and there is no one to take that what you were born, because having your work to do and you were born to do a work, you are blessed, and there is no one to take that skill from you or that blessing from you. However, it is my greatest pleasure and passion to extend such to the young ladies of this organization and the world abroad, so that my motivation to you is to continue striving, follow the steps of whatever lessons are being given here, thoughts from our elders, our leaders, whoever that we recognize, and I do recognize on behalf of my little group over here in Guyana, we appreciate and we can assure you that your messages, your lessons, your advice, your love will not go unheard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Diane. And
Diane.
I love the way that you brought up what I'm going to be talking about today, because there is a difference between a job and your work. There's a difference between your job and your gift. I am in a position where a couple of years ago, my job was something very different to what I do now. I used to work in the oil and gas industry. I used to be wearing helmets and steel tip boots and flame retardant materials because it was a very dangerous job. Important, but very dangerous. And over the past couple of years, I've been given the opportunity to change my life, to change the way that I earn money, to change the way that I engage with people. And social media was a very, very important part of that. So officially, I am Ricardo Mitchell. I am a director, I guess, of the Sapphire Miriam Foundation. I mean, when you're building something, your role changes. And being this involved in it, I don't feel like a director. I don't feel like a facilitator. I feel like I'm a participant of this program because I am learning so much from being around so many different people with so many different cultures and so many different experiences and so many different hopes. So I don't feel like any of those things. But it turns out that I'm the guy who's going to be editing your videos and uploading a lot of stuff to your social media spaces. I work at a radio station. I have a talk show. I produce 2 podcasts at least, one of which is a mental health podcast as well, where I'm not on the camera. I'm not saying anything. I'm completely behind the scenes with my tripods and my lights and microphones, recording everything and then turning that into something that people consume. So I'm not just looking at social media from a space of consuming it. I'm looking at social media from a space of contributing to it. And believe it or not, we are all content creators. We are all content creators in some form or fashion. And you know, I'm gonna ask a question here. How many of you guys are on social media? You could unmute and say me, you could raise your hands, but I just want to find out how many of you guys are on social media? I'm seeing the hands going up.
I am on social media.
Mm-hmm. Right. So for those of you who think you're not, oh good, wait, that just I cannot keep track. This is, look, I have to go to the next screen, all kind of thing. Look at hands.
I don't think there's anybody who's not on social media here. It's the in thing now.
And that is so important to recognize that we are all in some form or fashion on social media, because social media by definition here refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share, and or exchange information ideas in virtual communities and networks. I'm going to break it down. Social media is not just about having a TikTok account. It's not just about being on Instagram. Do you guys look at YouTube? I don't know if you guys look at YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
YouTube is social media.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
if you WhatsApp your grandparents or your parents to let them know that school is over or you're waiting for your lessons teacher, if you're using WhatsApp, you're on social media. The fact remains that these apps that connect us, they are all part of us being able to interact with other people. And while they are very exciting with some of the things that they allow us to do, they can be very challenging. If you change your profile pic, if you make an avatar for an online game, you are now a part of a social community. You are now part of a social media network. If you build an avatar for Roblox or Minecraft, you've already created a virtual profile. You now have an existence on the internet that is representative of who you are. Now, let me tell you something. Creating content can be challenging because you might spend a lot of time. You might spend a lot of time making a video, editing, recording, building your slides, whatever you're doing. And then after you spend, in my case, I've literally done this. I've spent an hour recording an interview and then spent maybe 12 or 13 hours editing that interview. And then you upload it to social media and you get 7 views. I spent 16 or 17 hours doing work for 7 people to see it. And sometimes I feel disappointed. You know, you look at, all right, I did this beautiful thing and no one is paying attention, and it could be disappointing. So you know what you do? You start looking for ways to get more attention. You're looking for ways to get more views. You start putting up pressure on yourself to present something that pleases more people. And that is where one of the first dangers of content creation on social media comes in. We start creating a space that is supposed to represent us, but instead of representing us, it starts becoming a thing where we're trying to get more people to like us. We're trying to get more people to notice what we're doing. We're trying to get more people to say good job or to click like. And it feels good to be noticed. Let's not beat around the bush here. It feels good for people to acknowledge you. But when you start putting pressures on yourself to get noticed the way other people are being noticed, we start falling into the trap of social media. You start spending more and more time. See, like my internet might be giving a little trouble. Is everyone hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
great,
sir.
excellent. So we start spending more and more time building, creating, doing, because we're trying to get more and more attention. And then you start doing things that you may not have done before because you realize that is what is getting attention. You stop representing yourself and you start creating a space that starts to look more like everyone else. And you run the risk of losing who you are. It is scary to feel like no one notices you. It is scary to feel like no one is paying attention to what you're doing here, listening to what you have to say. But one of the first dangers of social media is that we cannot afford to lose who we are because of who everyone else looks like. Because a lot of people aren't the person that they present on social media. If I burn food, if I'm making fry bake and I burn or frying plantain and I burn one side of the plantain, the picture that I'm going to take is of the good side of the plantain that I did not burn. So you seeing this nicely golden honey brown slice of plantain, but when I bite into the bread, I know the bottom hard and crunchy and ashy. Social media does that. We start presenting only the good sides of things. So you not comparing yourself to what is real, you start comparing yourself to what it looks like. So as we go into the Dream Big Girls Empowerment Program, my job is not to make you popular. My job is not to tell you how to design better video or to take higher quality photos, although we could do those things. My job is to warn you You don't have to give up who you are because of what everything else looks like. Deborah, I see you've raised a hand here. You want to chime in with a point?
That does strike a chord with me because I'm trying to raise a social media presence as well for my Talk One-to-One TLC. I have something like maybe 2,000 friends. I have another business page like 1,000, but this Talk One-to-One, I find it's not really taken up. I have a meager 38 people that is following me. And I'm like, wow, compared to my 2,000 on my personal page. But however, I just still let it carry on. I'm like, it's not about numbers, it's about quality. And I have patience. And in time, I will grow the presence, you know, based on my content. And I'm so busy out there producing and creating. I don't have to spend enough time in actually put too much energy into the social media, because in time, when I have my content, I'll be able to put it up, you know, when I'm ready. But having said that, for my birthday, my last birthday, I put up that because I am an advocate for Dominica, to reconnect Dominica, where since the hurricanes, we have been disconnected in the South, and I've been advocating for this. And then I said, for my birthday, I want a bridge. That is what I want for my birthday. I don't want you to come on and say, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. And then a very close friend of mine, she says, my God, give that a break. It's your birthday. You should be posting picture. You on the beach, you know, having a cocktail. And I'm, no, I don't have to follow the norm. As Ricardo said, I don't have to follow the norm. This is my passion. This is what I want. This is what I want for my birthday. Advocate with me, come with me, sit with me, cry with me. You know, and it's like when you were talking and everybody wants to look like each other, you know, you have people from the back, you don't recognize who it is because everybody has the same hair, everybody has the same lashes, and there's no individuality, and all of us are beautiful and unique and so special. And then, you know, to celebrate that, that's a blessing. I thank you.
I appreciate that. And you know what, guys? Let me give you a real-time example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to be very transparent with you. I spend a lot of time on air recording. I have TikTok that I upload videos to. I have the radio program which goes on YouTube. And you have to keep your algorithm circulating. So you have this pressure to keep presenting content. And you spend a lot of time creating this content. You might spend 3 hours to edit a 30-second video clip. And then you have to do another one tomorrow. And then you have to do another one the day after. So you start to get pressured to keep performing. And then because you have pressure to perform, you want results. You want more people to like you. You want more people to follow you. You want more people to see what it is you're doing. And then you end up cheating. And when I say cheating, you might buy followers. You might start getting robots to click likes and shares. You start hiding certain things so that they look a certain way. I'm going to lean into my camera a little bit, so don't get scared. But I have a dark mark on my face that if I were to take an Instagram picture now, I was not going to show you that. I had a mark on my face from a button. I don't know where it came from. And of course, I started to get frantic because now, oh my gosh, I have to go on camera. I can't have this big button on my face. What is it going to look like? And I don't want anybody to comment on it and make me feel bad about it. So I started doing my videos the other way. I start hiding something that was real. A lot of people struggle with skin issues. A lot of people have acne. Sometimes they get a little button. Sometimes real life happens and we start hiding our real lives to try to present our good side. Okay, I won't tell which one it is right now. We can own who we are and what we're going through because that is what our real life is. And I'm not saying put all your business on social media because that is another danger that exists. We risk oversharing. We allow people into private and personal and meaningful spaces when they are just casual observers. We overshare. You know, we accept every friend request. We have open profiles. We put everything out there. So now nothing is private and nothing is sacred. When you don't walk up to strangers and start telling strangers all your business and giving them all your money, and we have curtains to keep people from outside seeing everything inside? Why you even have curtains hung up if you're just going to show everybody everything anyway? So oversharing is another thing that we try to do to get people to like us because we're hoping that it connects with someone. Debra?
Yeah, one of the things I ask myself before I share, am I here to entertain people or am I here to make an impact? What is my purpose? And with the answer, it would lead me to where I want to be, to bring balance. That is how I try to balance it, to make an impact.
So some of us are here today and we're afraid to put our cameras on because we're thinking, how many people are going to have an opinion about what I look like? But if we're all thinking about everyone else, that means nobody really studying me. Everybody's studying everybody else. Hey, Princess, I see your hand is raised.
Hello, hi. About the topic of sharing, I remembered watching a video and they were telling me if you want to share something, you have to put doors in your mind. So you have to ask yourself, is it funny? Is it relevant? Is it kind? Or is it helpful to the person that you're sharing it with? You have to ask yourself these things because sometimes when you share things, it can hurt other people, or it could be lies and it might just be a rumor that you're spreading. So you have to be careful about what you're sharing. So the people you sharing the information to can understand you and appreciate you for what you're sharing. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Princess has been with us from one of our our first semesters. So thank you so much, Princess. You have gotten so brave. I'm so proud of you. Denny Brown.
Good morning. I do apologize for my camera not being on. I'm in the process of cleaning, right? But I'm tuning in. I just want to say that same thing what she was saying. Like if I have to post something, I try to verify the information first because you never know what you're really posting. And sometimes when somebody sends something to me, I just ask them, is this true? So I don't know if it's true or not. So I don't want to just try to forward something that I don't know about. And then, sometimes you have children now on your WhatsApp. Children have WhatsApp now, so you don't know what you're posting and how it's going to impact them. Or sometimes what the children themselves posting on the WhatsApp status, and you as an adult trying to figure out a child boy, and your mind going all over the place. So what we posting, what we sharing is so important for the audience, and that is true.
Thank you very much, Denny. I love how everybody getting involved in the conversation because this is our real life, right? Some of the things that we post on social media affect our real lives. When you get older and you're going into job interviews or even sometimes applying to a school, they are going through your social media to see what is the type of space you've built around you? What are the types of behaviors that you engage in? So some of the dangers of not just consuming social media, but contributing to social media are: one, the pressure to perform. Two, losing yourself, one, losing yourself trying to please people. Two, the pressure to perform. Thirdly, oversharing. And this last one, it's kind of sad. It is kind of sad, but the reality is, coming out of oversharing, you are going to encounter trolls. You are going to encounter people who do not care about how you feel unless they make you feel badly. In producing content, and content creation could be a very, very amazing career to get into because it crosses so many boundaries. A friend of mine, Joshua Regrello, he's a panelist out of Trinidad and Tobago. And he went from making his TikTok videos and his Instagram videos and posting his YouTube of himself playing pan to being this brand ambassador for so many different brands and throwing concerts and that type of thing. You could make money, you could make a successful living, you could do the thing that you love doing. And social media helps you do that. But you also run the risk of exposing yourself to people who are going to try to tear you down. And you could post something and 1,000 people love it, and one person makes a comment, so he couldn't cut his hair before he come on the video, and I wouldn't think about the people who benefited from what I did, I am going to fixate on that one person or 2 people or 10 people who had a problem with what I did or how I did it. One of the dangers of social media is that we expose, not that we expose ourselves, we are exposed to a lot of negative people. And part of our responsibility is to do what Princess spoke about, not just put up doors in terms of what we put out, but we put up doors so that we could stop some things from coming in. So I don't want to go for much longer. In fact, I don't want to go longer at all, because I just love the way that the conversation has unfolded and we've started branching into different things. But I want you all to know that for my first contribution, you are all beautiful. You are all beautiful. You are all unique. You are all God-given gifts to the world. We are here to do something to make life better for other people and to enjoy ourselves while we do it. And I want to help you find that yourself so that you don't try to copy what other people are doing, because they are not you. If you don't go to school, they're going to mark you absent. You can't say, well, so-and-so was there. You have to show up in your life to do the thing that you have to do. And I want you guys to find ways to express yourself safely, honestly, and as Princess pointed up, with kindness, with care, with truth. Right? So on that note, I think I've stressed my 4 points, my 4 dangers of content creation. Right? And I want to thank you for listening, for responding when I ask questions. And Debra, I saw you raised your hand again. You're remuted. Yeah.
I always just like to give like practical things that I could see happening. Like a friend of mine, she's very much into social media, and she's actually posted going through like separation from her husband, a divorce, so going through, well, she hasn't made that far. And then like a year later, she decided to go back to her husband. Now, problem now, you have to go back. So you can see the amount of stress you're just creating for yourself, because you just want to like put out everything out there, to be open, to be authentic, to be real, and making sure you're feeding everything to everybody. But it's not necessary, because in the long run, you just have to go back and clean up certain things and take back certain things. And so you just have to be mindful in what you're sharing. Yeah, because and then you can get burnt out as well. Burnt out, I've seen it.
Yeah, and that burnout comes from the pressure of not just the work that you have to keep putting out, but from some of the cleanup. Anybody here ever spilled rice? I don't know why I feel like asking if anybody ever spilled rice. Like you're taking out a cup of rice to boil or something, and some of it fall. It doesn't have to be rice. You ever try to clean up sugar or flour?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I have.
Right? These things are way
It's very difficult.
it's way easier to
Or some beads just scatter all over the floor, little tiny beads that you need to make bracelets, and they're all over the place, and you need them.
I'll get it and show you guys. I had this mask chain, this nice beaded chain that I would hook my mask on. So when I took it off, I would still have it with me. And it burst the other day. And I'm sure I've gone from wearing one chain to having 70 something beads to clean up. Sometimes it is easier to carry something carefully than it is to clean up after. And social media is like that. Carry it carefully, because it might not be as easy to clean up after. Right, so thank you guys for your time. I would like to ask Savannah to chime in on the social media thing, because I mean, she's now the next expert. Is mass communications you're doing, Savannah?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hand it over to Savannah, who's our peer mentor, who's our newest addition to the facilitation team. Oh, and I want to thank everyone who contributed and helped make this first session so far very enjoyable for me. So Savannah, take it away.
All right. So first of all, I just want to ask every one of you, who are you on social media? Are you the spectator? Are you the content creator? What are you? So just think about that. You can write down the chat. You can tell me after. You can interrupt me. I don't mind. So for me on social media, I am sometimes a spectator. Once in a while, I post something. And I also have another platform where I post poetry, but it's anonymous. So nobody knows that it's Savannah Green. Nobody knows, they know who I am. Oh, somebody raised their hand. You can go ahead. Oh, okay.
Galaxy A02.
Oh, she's just, okay. Yes. Nobody knows who I am. And I post whenever I want. I haven't posted since, I think in March for a while, but it's my way of expressing myself and to understand how social media works. So when I use that page, I think about, okay, how would I serve my audience? What is my audience like? So I think the majority of my audience are women, and a lot of them are from the Asian continent, more particularly India. So I have to think about the times I post on social media. Okay, I want them to engage with my post. Not all the time I get a lot of likes. Not all the time people comment. Sometimes I get these these comments where they say, please DM me, or I sent you a DM, those kind of scam things. And it's annoying, it really is. But I do it because I love it. I love writing, I love poetry, I love creating. And I believe I've created a really nice community. So for my presentation, I'm going to talk about cultivating habits on social media. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me see if we can do it. All right, so can everybody see my screen? Let me know by a thumbs up, or you could say yes in the chat.
Yes, I could see your screen.
Thank you, Princess, for answering. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Savannah Green. I'll be your peer mentor for this year. This is my email. Feel free to reach out. I'm the one that's been sending you emails about our program this year. So yeah, that is me behind that. And let's get into it. So I asked you earlier, who are you on social media? So with a raise of hands, you can speak. Just go ahead and speak, or you can write it in the chat. I think I could view the chat from here. Okay, so Amari, okay, go ahead, Tanisha. Tanisha, raise your hand. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, maybe Rubia can translate it for me because I speak Dutch. And she's from Suriname as well.
Okay. Can we enable subtitles?
Ik hoor je niet.
Wil je dat ik de titel van die slide voor je vertaal of alles? I'm asking you what you translated.
I'll see het voor me vertalen.
Ik zal mijn best doen om het in de chat voor je dan in te tikken in het Nederlands.
Okay.
So Fanny, you can just continue. I'll try to edit for her in the text in Dutch.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Anybody else in the chat? So Amri said she's a spectator on social media. Leanne said she's both alongside Clenisha. Anybody else before I continue? Okay, Aquilina, go ahead.
I think I am both because I do post, but not as much. And I do spectate. I spectate more than I post.
Yeah, so Kay May said you used to post. What do you post on social media? Like your pictures, or what exactly do you do?
I post like I like to travel and go out. So I post like things like that. Like we went the police academy. So I posted stuff about basically educational things about places that I went. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? I see another hand raised. You can go ahead.
Oké, ik wil dat het voor me gaat vertalen. Ik post meer wanneer ik naar plekken ben geweest en gewoon bijvoorbeeld wanneer ik jarig ben.
Okay, so I'm translating it for her. She
Alright.
posts mainly when she visits places, like pictures when she visits places, and maybe when it's her birthday or she has something to celebrate.
Yes, definitely. I know I sometimes use, so if you guys have Instagram, I sometimes use Instagram stories to like not post on my main feed sometimes. So maybe not exactly on my birthday, maybe a few days after. I will sometimes post a little picture, just, you know, commemorating my birthday or any special events. So I'm gonna get into this. So yes, it's not only, you don't only have to, you know, post on social media, but what are we consuming on social media? I always try to tell people, not post, but follow people that not only aligns with your values, with your interests, but follow people that are, you see as authentic, people that you see that you know, their motivation, they give you motivation, they're very aspirational. So I'm gonna switch to the other side. Oops. Right. I'm just gonna skip this. Right. So if you find a page that is upsetting or doesn't align with who you are and your values, it is encouraged to unfollow, block, or restrict that page. I know a lot of pages that I have followed in the past, and sometimes like, okay, they might start to post about, I don't know, inspirational quotes. And, you know, I follow that page, and after a while, I see them being a bit toxic. Maybe they're discriminatory towards women or people of color. And I'm like, okay, this is not something I should follow, something I should consume. So maybe I should unfollow that page. A lot of influencers on Instagram and TikTok and so on, they're not, as Ricardo mentioned earlier, they're not very real on social media. So they use Photoshop to hide any marks, to make themselves look like if they have a hourglass body shape, you know. And you see them, it's like, oh, you know, I want to be just like them. I want to have this huge house, this huge this. And usually it's probably not theirs. It's probably their friend's house, as probably not their body, right? So if you're finding these pages, and if you're not strong enough to, you know, consume this media, if you're continuously comparing yourself, you shouldn't, maybe it's best you shouldn't follow them. So unfollow them, block them if they keep coming up on your page, you know? Okay, Shaquana and Gabriella, you want to say something?
Yeah, so some people, they actually undergo surgeries just to be the people they are today. And they inspire people like to go do surgeries to have the perfect body, to be an instant influencer. And some people they have they're born with difficulties, and they, as people, they will try to do their best to, you know, at least show creativity on Instagram or social media.
Yeah, thank you. Was it Shaquana or Gabriella?
Shaquana.
Yes, nice to see you, Shaquana. Definitely. And what of these influencers do, if you don't know, is that, okay, they go to the plastic surgeries to have, you know, bigger backside or bigger chest. And they come on social media to tell you, okay, do these exercises, and this is how you're gonna get a bigger breast, a bigger butt. And truly, they got surgery. They did not do any exercise to do that, right? And you believe some, you know, I believe them, and I did not know that was the truth. I was like, oh, okay, this is how they naturally got that body. Oh, they were very slim from from 2 years ago, and now they just have a very hourglass shape, whatever, you know. So be so careful. So my task for you is to go through who you're following on social media, and I have to go through that as well, and see if that person, are you comparing yourself? Is this page helping me become a better person? Is this person I'm following, are they aspirational? You know, so what I have done on social media, I'm interested in user experience design. If you know what user experience design is, if you have a website, you want to make sure that people who are using a website have a good experience, right? So you don't want your website to be too long, it has too much graphics, if it is too bright with too much images, you try to make sure that it aligns with, you know, your audience. And what I have done is follow people who are interested in UX design, people who do that as their job. And I follow people who say, okay, how do you become a better user experience designer? I do that. So if any interest that you have, if you're interested in sewing, writing, anything of the above, you'll find a lot of people. Everything is on social media. Would you believe it? Everything is on there. Somebody had their hand up. You can go ahead. If not, I can continue.
Yes. Meestal ga je kijken van waar die persoon post. Bijvoorbeeld zo wijzen hoe je kan afslanken. Verschillende theesoorten, allerlei mixdingen. En dan ga je ze proberen. En dan soms, het kan dat het waar is, maar soms drink je misschien een bepaalde thee. En dan is het zo erg dat je misschien zelf dood kan gaan. Want ik ken mensen die zelf dood zijn gegaan, omdat ze dingen van YouTube hebben gevolgd die niet eens waar zijn. Dus drankjes hebben gedronken om af te slanken.
Okay, she's talking about the various drinks that are on social media that encourage people to use them in order to get skinnier, because everybody's thinking about the way they look. They try everything they see on social media to get the perfect body or the perfect look. And not all of them are good. And there are a lot of people that also die from the things that they do in order to get the perfect look. So that's something that should be looked at.
Yes, definitely. So if you see something on social media and it seems too good to be true, do your research, go on Google, ask your parents a question. You know, you might know a doctor around that may give you a better insight of how the science works, right? So just don't go in and buy something. Look at the reviews. Maybe the reviews are people full of scams, right? So maybe go on Google, ask a question, you know, ask somebody who might have that knowledge of that thing. Okay, Tanisha, go ahead.
I have a question. Je hebt gezegd dat je op Google kan zoeken als het waar is. Maar wil dat zeggen dat je Google ook moet geloven? Want Google is toch ook een social media platform?
The question that she has is, you're telling her that she can use Google to find information, but does that mean that when she looks at Google that she has to trust whatever Google gives her? I think I want to pitch in on the answer for this one. Everything that you see on the internet is put there by somebody. So there are a couple of ways for you to fact check. And Google is a search engine. It's not social media, but it's an engine that's filled with content, with articles, with videos that are put there by other people. So no, you should not trust the first thing that you see on Google, because Google will also show you a fake website that I just created 5 minutes ago. So it should not be only source of fact checking. There are several things that you should do. For example, if you're looking at whether or not there's a war going on somewhere in the world, a reliable source would be a news agency or the government website. If you're looking on information on education in a country, a reliable source would be the Ministry of Education in that country. So not just check Google, but check the source that Google gives you, because Google just gives you the various sources that it has.
Just give me 2 seconds to explain it in Dutch. Google is een zoekmachine. En Google heeft dus goede dingen en niet goede dingen. Hij geeft je gewoon alles dat hij heeft. Het gaat er dus om dat je zou moeten kijken naar welke source, welke informatiebron is het. Yes? Je gaat dus bijvoorbeeld niet een waterkant of een familienieuws website geloven als je het niet hebt gezien in de Ware Tijd of in Star News.
All right, thank you so much, Ruby. Yes, think about the source as well. So people have always said, don't use Wikipedia if you've seen Wikipedia. Don't use Wikipedia to find your information. So think about the source. So if you want to find out the meaning of something, you use Oxford. Is this a, so I know, can't remember the name of the sites, but sometimes you have to look at the ending of the site. So if it's .org, you have to think about that. But of course, they can be scam websites. If you're not too sure, ask somebody that you believe will have that answer for you, right? Think about what you're consuming on social media and don't just jump in and say, okay, I'm just going to buy it, right? So continuing on, so I said, follow people that bring you joy, right? One person I would say that I really like on social media is Coco Chanello. And she's an influencer, she's a content creator. So if anybody is into influencing or content creating, raise your hand and tell me the steps, what are you taking to do so? If you could raise your hand or speak in the chat. Oh, let's talk.
Sorry, Debra.
Oh, Debra.
Yeah. As you're speaking about looking at the URL, everybody know what the URL, yeah? When it ends with org, there's normally very informative site.
Yes.
Another thing to check if it's secure.
Yes.
HTTPS, that means it has a secure and it's not a phishing website, as opposed to HTTP. So these are little things that you can look out for. But I had an experience this week with my son, and we normally play dominoes. So he was passing when in his turn, even though he had the card. So I'm telling him, you could never win by passing and you have the card. You know, the game of dominoes. So he said, oh, I Google it. I Google it. Google said I can win. And we played at least 5 games, and over, we prove that information source is wrong. It's not always right.
Yeah, I know if you have, depends on what laptop you have or what function you use, but usually when I go on a site, it has the padlock button. So if it actually the padlock is firm, you would know that website is secured, or it would just say this website is secure. And sometimes you'll see like the caution symbol, which is the triangle, which tells you, okay, this website is not that safe, so you probably should leave. Yeah, definitely. So thank you so much, Ms. Debra. Continuing
also
on.
This, I think Norton has a free software that you can download free on your phone, that will, on your laptop as well, that will catch all harmful websites.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. So
Sorry,
continuing
Savannah.
on.
I just want to interject here. Janae had posted something in the chat that whatever you consume on social media, it would be influencing your behavior.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important, which I know something that you're going to bring up as well, because what you look at continually, it influences the way that you think, your mindset, and eventually you start to display certain types of behaviors. Sometimes you're unconscious of it, but if you're consuming something morning, noon, night, you're listening to this particular type of music or listening to this particular type of person, eventually your behavior starts to mimic that type of behavior. So you really have to be careful who you listen to and who you're influenced by on social media. Yes, so I just wanted to drop that in as Jenny mentioned it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jenny. It's just the same as hanging out with friends. If these friends are a bad influence or they do bad things, and you say, okay, well, no, they just do that and I don't care. eventually you'll be just like them because you hang out with them. I don't know if your parents ever told you, hang out with the smart people in the class, right? And I think that benefited me so much when I went to college and I hung out with the smart people. So we always in the library, we're always studying. And you know what? It helped me. So definitely think about what you are consuming on social media. And continuing to that, um, I I wouldn't say I'm interested in influencing, but I'm pretty sure you guys are. There's this influencer called Coco Chanello, and she does fashion inspiration. So what I really like about Coco Chanello is that she's authentic. She would tell you as it is. She's into very different styles, and you don't actually have to follow her style options or her style outfits. In I think this video, How to Style Outfits 101, I think it just gives you a brief understanding of what styling is like and how you can mix and match and how to use basics and things like that, you know. And what about her that I like is that she doesn't have one distinct way that she dresses. So if you see here, she's wearing a jacket with jeans, which is very simple. And the other picture here, she's wearing boots and a mini skirt. And if you go through her Instagram, if you go through her TikTok, her style varies. And when she talks about, creating, just as Ricardo mentioned to you earlier, it can be a lot. She mentions that she goes to school full time, and she has an internship doing, I think she's doing it this year. So it is a lot, but she finds a way to content create, and it's okay if you take a break. That's something, she talks about. And yeah, I really like her. So if somebody you want to follow, go ahead. But the reason why I follow her because she is just authentic. I love her style, and she looks just like me, right? We are all, a lot of us here are of African descent, and you want to see somebody that looks like you on social media. That's what I really love about social media. You are prone to see people from different backgrounds, different interests. You'll find somebody who is just like you on social media, which I am grateful for. And another person that I really like is Jamila Jamil. And she's an actress and she's an activist as well. And she speaks a lot about issues of mental health, climate change, and equality for marginalized groups. And she's very authentic. You can relate to her. So she is a big celebrity. She's been part of, movies and shows. And a lot of celebrities online, if I'm not going to lie, they they show their perfect self. They show their perfect quote unquote, the way they dress, their hair, their shape, their clothes, and so. And what I like about her is that she not only shows okay her accomplishments and what she's doing to the various groups, but she's also showing it's okay to take a break. It's okay to feel, depressed and sad sometimes, and she uplifts you. So this little video here, she's like, did you move a little for your mental health today? There's another video that I couldn't upload. She's like, okay, it is okay to exercise no matter how it feels, no matter how you look like, you know? So I really like her because of the work that she's doing. Um, she also works with body positivity. So if you feel as though you're, feel comfortable in your body, um, you're comparing yourself so much on social media, she is somebody that speaks a lot about it, who tells you to love yourself, love your body. She does a lot of affirmations as well. So think about it. Um, I love myself. I love my body. I am enough. I am beautiful. So these are the few things I've really taken from her, because when I scroll through on social media, she is there because I follow her, right? And one thing about social media, if you follow people like that, you will get other people like you probably not follow. If you go on your For You page on TikTok, or I know on Instagram now, you get other pages that you're not following. These pages will align to the people that you are following. So I've seen a lot of activists on my social media page. I've seen a lot of influencers, just like Coco Chanel, on my Instagram page. And what? They are positive, they're aspirational, and it gets me going. I want to be on social media, right? And when I'm not social media, when I'm not on social media, I don't feel dull, I don't feel depressed or anything, because I have these positive influences online, right? Another person that I really like is Miss Darcy. So anybody here is into makeup, because that is something we might get into in a few sessions. So raise your hands. Yeah. Oh, Jade, you're into makeup. That's great. And how, like, great. Yeah, I love makeup as well. I'm not big on makeup. We used to watch her. She's very funny. Yes, she is. So what I like the most about Miss Darcy is that, yeah, she not only reviews makeup, and I think she also has a brand, but she lets you know if this makeup, the product itself, is it good for people with dark colored skin? Um, I know she had this series where these Korean brands, they claim that they could change you put it on your skin and it aligns with your skin color. But what happened was when she put it on her skin, it gave a white cast. And she did a bunch of these reviews and they did not actually turn to her skin tone, right? And what she does is really promote that people of color can try makeup. Makeup is for everyone. So she's really into Korean beauty. And Korean beauty, it's very, I would say, it's very niche, and people think only people who are white or who are only of Korean descent could use their makeup and their makeup routines. But she goes to show that, you know, if you into this makeup style, no matter the culture it is from, you can go ahead and try it, but also respecting the culture and also respecting the style as well. So she has this series called Black Girl Tries, which really promotes that you can do anything with makeup. It can transform you. It can make you feel, you know, that you have a lot of creativity as well. And she has done a lot for herself on social media. She, with her platform, she was able to go on big television shows called the Social. I think it's a TV lifestyle show on. I think it films in Canada, and also she has worked with Shein to create blush and highlight, especially for people who are of darker skin tones. So she was saying that orange really looks good on darker skin tones, but there aren't really a lot of brands that caters for people who have a darker skin color. So she created one herself because she has the ability to. And that's was something I really liked about her. Princess Rose, you can go ahead.
Hi. Related to what you were just saying about the type of makeups that for different colored people. I was watching this guy, this white dude on a YouTube short, right? And he was trying on this orange lipstick because he's like, oh my God, why would anybody buy orange lipstick? This looks so disgusting. And then Miss Darcy came on and said, it's because it's for Black people. It looks good on Black people. The orange lipstick brings out Black people's features. And she was educating him on that because he didn't know that the orange lipstick weren't necessarily for white people alone.
Yeah, and I think the beauty industry has really transformed, because when you think about things that we have know is that when people have created makeup and lipsticks and whatever, they made it for one particular race of people. They didn't think about people who have different skin tones or undertones, right? So now a lot of these brands, they cater for everybody. So if you know about Rihanna's brand, Fenty Beauty, she has foundations for every single skin tone. And that's amazing. And what I really like about Miss Darcy is that she lets people know, because people follow people like her, may not know much about Fenty Beauty. I think I knew much about Fenty Beauty because of Miss Darcy, right? And with Fenty Beauty, you have a range of products that you can use for any skin type. And Miss Darcy has really put that out there. And that's something I really like about her. So to end this, guys, think about who you're following on social media. Think about who you are on social media. It really impacts your mindset, who you see yourself, what you value, right? I love social media. I use it all the time. Yes, sometimes it can be very distracting, which is something I'll talk about a few minutes later. But social media is a great avenue for you to learn and to know about things. And also it's very important to fact check that information. Make sure that when you go online, you do your research, that source is credible, right? So thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to say them now or type in the chat. I realized somebody wrote something on here the entire time. Feel free to do so. I'm open to anything as of now. If not, I will send this to Miss Debbie, who will continue our presentation.
Hi, Savannah, thank you very much. I just want to interject here. And I want to say you've really changed the tone of things, because I'm seeing so much interaction from the girls. You know, they can associate with, you know, Miss Darcy. I don't think people of my generation know anything about Miss Darcy. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if anybody else knows, but I don't have a clue. So, and I'm seeing Alina, you know, and Princess, they're saying that they know about Miss Darcy. You know, they've seen, you know, certain, I guess, of shorts, etc. So they can really associate with what you're saying. And I think this is the key thing now, that, you know, that the girls have someone that they could be in touch with, and, you know, who share, you know, similar ideas and views and experiences. And I think this is really so important, that they can associate with you, you know, and what you're consuming, etc. And I think it really makes a world of difference, you know, because it's not just like an adult, you know, an older person talking to them about do's and don'ts, but it's somebody who's in their world, you know, who can actually, you know what they're going through. I think that really changes the tone of things. I really like the interactivity, you know, of the girls. So I must say thanks very much, young ladies, for interacting. And I just want to acknowledge one of our partners, Marsha Sewdass from Infinite Coaching. She's here with us, and we'll give her a chance before we close off to introduce her organization. So thanks very much for joining us, Marsha. Let me turn back over to Mr. Mitchell and Debra and the team on social media.
So, Savannah, you are a gem. That was amazing. And I'll be honest with you, maybe if I had followed Miss Darcy, I would have had some tips to help me with my cover-up situation on this side here. But now we want to hand over to our resident educational psychologist, a dear friend, a really important part of Sapphire Miriam Foundation. Look, she blushing. Debbie, Debbie Gibran, how are you doing this morning?
I'm all right. So I have a disclaimer. Good morning, everyone. My Wi-Fi is very unstable. If you notice, I keep dropping out and up, on and off constantly. So I will try my best to do this very quickly so they don't bump me off again. I don't know what happened. So I am very glad to be here, everyone. I'm glad to see so many beautiful faces and names. I am just going to look at okay, my name is Debbie Gibran. All right, so I want to ask every one of you guys here, what do you think is too much social media?
Come on, young ladies.
Come
Type in
on.
the chat, or
Yeah.
just unmute your mic.
Yeah, just unmute your mic and tell me how much do you think, how long do you think is too much social media? 24/7, right? Yes, I agree.
It's not a time frame, but like maybe first thing in the morning and last thing before you go to sleep.
Every
Right,
day.
right. Great. Good answers. 2 hours straight, no break. Yeah. So
I'd like to say more than an hour, probably.
at a time or any 24-hour period?
Well, no, at a time, probably 3 hours max for the day. I think that's way too much. Nah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the American Psychological Association, the chief science officer there, he said that his name is Dr. Prinstein. He said that spending many hours online engage in healthy behavior, such as talking honestly with your friends or learning from credible sources. Let's say you have an assignment to do. So you're doing that assignment and you need to be on the laptop or probably social media, depends on what you're doing. They say it's not really all bad. The problem is when there is certain aspects or certain results you see in yourself that start to formulate. Let's say you have an inability to stop. So which means, I don't know if any one of you here are addicted to social media. Anybody addicted to social media? Yeah, I know the feeling. It depends though. So the addiction is there. If social media is interfering with your daily routines, you can see that as a problem. If you're going out of your way or lying to your parents, saying that I have schoolwork to do, but you're not on schoolwork, you're actually doing your own thing. To maintain that social media use, you have problems with schoolwork, your relationships, you're not spending enough time with your family, significant other. It depends because it affects not just children or teenagers, it affects everybody, right? It's something that has been hampering our lives for a long time, and the COVID aspect of it, that 2 year, it ended up making things a little worse. So sometimes we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I know they have a lot of social media platforms, some of which I may not know. We may post something that is relevant to us, and we would hope that persons would like it. Maybe just to be nice. My question now is, what does a like really mean to you? I can't read much of the any chat, so if you guys just want to say something, what does a like to you?
I like means to me that your people support your ideas or they go along with what you create.
Yes. Anything else? That is correct though. Someone appreciates you, I see it here. So then a like is very important. Yeah.
Someone likes your content.
Yes. But how does it make you feel when someone like your content, they like your post, or they like your whatever it is you put up there?
It says it's a self-esteem boost.
Yes, is. So it's important to remember this, right? Because we may be misled by some of the posts that have many likes. So we see something out there that is similar to us, to what we may put, and they have like, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 likes. And you put up something and you have 1 or 2 likes. And we could get roped into thinking, especially if we believe that whatever we post is exceedingly more important than something someone else
password required.
may have posted. Science, though, shows us that when we see a post with many likes, we are more likely to like and believe it, even though it doesn't make sense in the realistic sense. We just automatically say, well, that person have plenty likes, so which means that it's really important or really relevant, but not necessarily so. So we get roped into that. Some research shows that our brain reacts differently to posts with more likes, which can influence us, even if we don't realize it. But what I want you to know is that it is important to remember likes do not always mean people agree with what they see. They just automatically click like, click like, click like. Some people just go along on social media, just liking everything. You ever notice that some of your friends just liking everything? Everything. Some of them doesn't even read it, but they like it. All right. So would any one of you like to add something else here? You know, no pun intended, but you wanna add something to this these likes and these loves and these hearts and these all kind of thing. The floor is open. Likes are not necessary impacts. Yeah.
In the chat earlier, and Jason said that it could be a Satanist video, might have a lot of likes and it's not good.
Good. All right, so let's move on. What are some causes of unhealthy social media use? Have you heard the name FOMO? FOMO? Anybody can tell me what that is?
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, I
fear
did.
of missing out.
So a fear of missing out or FOMO, now, honestly, I didn't know that, right? That can keep you returning to social media over and over again because you think that if you already close it off, that is it there, running in the background to Instagram, running Facebook, running Twitter, running on the background. Because even though there are, very few things that can wait, they don't need an immediate response, but that fear of missing out causes you to just be on it all the time. Another cause of this unhealthy social media use is a security blanket. A lot of us uses it. We have to be online because we are in a social situation and we feel anxious or we feel awkward. A lot of people who suffer from social anxiety are always online. They are lonely, so they use it as a security blanket. Another cause may be masking an underlying problem, such as stress. We're very stressful, so the first thing we do is pick up our phones and go on Twitter and see what's going on. Pick up our phones, go on Instagram and just scroll through because we're just trying to mask what is really happening with us. So quickly, let's just talk about online grooming. I want to find out from you guys, what is your understanding of online grooming? Anybody? It's a very serious entity. It's something that is happening constantly.
Grooming is basically like when an adult tries to make a child feel good about themselves and talk to them like if they're one of their friends, and try to get something out of the child, whether it be something regarding sexual relations or something like that.
Yeah. Anybody else want to take a knack at it? Online grooming. Now, online grooming doesn't only happen to children. It happens to teenagers and young adults, old people. Grooming in itself is a psychological thing, as the person who just spoke, I didn't see a name. I didn't see it come up. It is where someone, the perpetrator, befriends another person, which is a victim, and online for this section, and builds up their trust with the intention of exploiting them and causing them harm at a later date. Online assault, yes, correct. It is online assault. Harm caused by grooming can eventually become sexual abuse. So anybody would like to tell me, what do you think is a risk factor, or what are risk factors for online grooming?
Sometimes it could be like kidnapping, assault, abuse, and other things like that.
Yeah. Debra, you had your hand up. abusing.
There's so much things that, you know, I see that, like this man in my community, he was communicating with this woman and she sent him like photos on her profile, like she was a pilot and she wanted to marry him, and for him to send money for the ticket for her to come, it just didn't really add up. But he really fell in love with her. And
Yeah.
every time I see him, he's like, yeah, she's coming, and you know, she's a pilot. And then it just turned out to be a big fat hairy man.
Oh,
That was texting him back and forth. So, you know, people just hide behind all different type of you know, persona. And then one thing I want to say, because I posted earlier that one thing I have is a bit of guilt on spending too much time on social media. And I know this, and I try to manage it, because minding other people's business, you know, minding your own, you're losing out on time. And so I just, like with Facebook, some people might be TikTok, you just get addicted to this thing. And then I go on like on Facebook very strategically. Like I think it was 2 days ago, I didn't remember a friend's birthday. I didn't want to ask her again. So I said, okay, let me go onto her profile quickly to check her birthday. And you know, all of these things just came up in my feed, take me all over the place. By the time I look at my time, I was like half an hour scrolling through. So it's just, you just need to be strong. You really need to be disciplined and just set your schedule, as somebody just mentioned in the chat, like, you know, and remain focused, because you can just get jerked away.
That's why you need to be mindful, and you know, sometimes people say being suspicious is not really a good thing, but to be honest, in this day and age, in this society that we live in, it's very important to be suspicious about almost everyone and almost everything, because you don't know, there are so much underlying effects that comes out from knowing a person. And this online grooming is something that has been growing for years, but it just came out more after. I mean, sometimes you look at COVID as being a bad thing, but it brought out a lot of things also in the light. So you're able to see online grooming. You know, you have people who would share hobbies. They're just stalking, you know, they're stalking, trying to manipulate you. So remember, groomers are very skilled at what they are doing. They're very skilled. They often befriend you. They might come along as sharing the same thing that you share, right? They might come about like, okay, they see that you are into modeling. They might say that, okay, they know this person and that person, and they would help you. A sports coach, something as simple as that. And so idyllic. They would see that you like sports. They would try to influence you in being your friend, but being your friend not in a stalkish way, but in a real, genuine, friendly way. So that's why a lot of people, especially young people, they get, you know, tied up with this. Another aspect of online grooming is vulnerabilities. So I had someone that I knew. She was in her late 20s, and she was groomed because she had very low self-esteem. She didn't like how she looked in the mirror. She thought she was ugly, no confidence, and she was groomed very, very easily. And eventually she was taken up with sexual abuse. She was sexually abused, sorry, and well, she became, you know, one of the many women that goes through that. And some people would say that, you know, you reach the age of 17, 18, 19, you're supposed to have a little more sense. But if you have things going on home, let's say you have a domestic violence situation that you have seen, or trauma in your life, or you yourself has, you know, gone through this particular family life that causes you to have low self-esteem and to need friends, to need something on the outside, so you have a particular need, then you could fall victim to grooming as well. So, all right, I'm looking at the time. So let's get down to it. What are some psychological effects, I would say, for too much social media? Right? Somebody says here they give you gifts and tell you how much, yeah, that's correct. What are some psychological effects of too much social media? Low self-esteem, a change in behavior. Anybody else? Get unmute or no? Unmute. Sometimes it's nice to talk.
Isolation.
Yeah.
Feeling like
Depression.
you need validation.
Yes, yes. You know, spending too much time on social media is I mean, spending time on social media is fine, but spending time with your family and friends in person is, you know, so much nicer. Believe me.
Sometimes spending too much time on social media could, cause it to become like a habit where you just wake up in the morning and you go straight to your phone, you go straight to TikTok, WhatsApp, Roblox, some game, you just go straight to it, and that just becomes a habit. And because you find like nobody is telling you, well, whether to stop, you think it's fine to be doing that, but really it isn't.
It becomes a habit. No, it's true. But in your experience, guys, do you think that it is wise to continue being on social media too much? What are you going to do about it? Because every one of us likes social media, but as we said earlier, too much. What is too much? When it starts to interfere with your life, when you become secluded and isolated. So, you know, you end up becoming so anxious about, you know, not being online. You see the same FOMO thing and security blanket, all those things ties in. So what are some ways in which we can, you know, come away from social media a little bit? Because if it becomes a habit, yeah, it's very, very, very hard. So maybe we have to treat it like a normal addiction.
So we should have like a specific time to go on social media and a specific time to like read a book. So say like you could go on social media for at least like an hour and 30 minutes, and then you can read a book for just at least 30 minutes or so, not too long. But you should have like a specific time schedule if you want to go on social media and when you're going to read a book.
Awesome. See how structure is important? Making a schedule, time management, it all ties in. We see two people's hands up and not seeing any names though.
We have Jenny John's hand was up and Aquilina.
Right. So guys, go ahead.
I wanted to say that you can also have a written schedule. Like for me, I like to go on social media, but only with my sisters, like when we're watching movies, because I have a schedule. I have to do the chores, I have to feed my dog, I have to like plant and other stuff. So I have like a scheduled time for each stuff that I have to do. So I don't get caught up in social media too much.
Awesome. That is awesome. Love that. Kudos to you. Come on, guys. Whose hands is up? Go ahead and say.
Aquilina.
I was also going to say a schedule, but if you go on, I think it's any social media platform and you're going to set, you could actually choose a time limit for yourself. So when that timer is up, the app will automatically tell you and you could go and do whatever else you want. Also, social media kind of takes away your social skills. So you can also go and hang out with your friends or probably invite your friends over by you and probably start a trend where you all probably go without your phone for about a few hours and hang out and try to find out more about each other.
Awesome. I love that. Leave your phones at home. You have to get an acronym for that.
Yeah, I think they'll understand that better if we have an acronym. I just want to put Sapphire on the spot. Let me see. Let Sapphire tell us how she manages her social media. I know she's involved in other activities, so I think that will help. Sapphire, tell us how you manage your social media.
Well,
I have a bunch of different stuff like academics and stuff, but I do art, I paint, I draw, like I get books from the library and stuff. A bunch of different stuff. I write poems, I write stories, like just different stuff to keep me like not bored. But that's how I kind of like occupy myself.
Right. Very good.
Great.
We have Jamila. I'm not seeing an email. Is it Jamila? Yes.
No, it's Joanna. But what
okay.
I wanted to say is, I find that children these days, like in our generation, too much social media could damage. Like it has so much damage in it, and they don't even know it. I know somebody who spends 48 hours on social media doing nothing, just posting random things that is not very relevant. And I would find myself, if I'm on social media, I would like, you know what? I have too much time. I might switch, go read a book. You could read some books online. You could do so much things. What I find myself doing, I switch off my device. I take off my Wi-Fi. I put my phone on Don't Disturb. And I would sit down with my family, eat, laugh. And I will find myself later on in the day when I'm done doing those good things. I will like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. And I won't go over 24 hours or 14 hours or 48 hours.
Right. It's all about being focused, being mindful, and actually, you see the discipline involved, because you might say, the same thing, missing out on something, or maybe you're following a story and you don't want to miss out, but you have to have that discipline. It's all about having that discipline, because you don't want to be suffering from anxiety, staring at a phone whole day. Anxiety, depression, suicide, the list goes on. So all of you came up with some really, really good ideas. We have Odelia, is it? I'm not seeing it. Another hand up.
I just have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Make money to fund towards maybe a trip outdoors. So that could separate you from the online world, and so you can spend time with yourself and your family and God.
Exactly. Most important. Yes, schedule. You see, and that's where the schedule comes in. The schedule, the mindfulness, the focus, the discipline, all these things you use, and you can come away from social media and don't have too much, don't put too much of an emphasis on it. Because at the end of the day, that is not your life. It comes like you're living life just on social media. That to me, that isn't really much of a life, right? So
I love
so
Odelia made a comment there that says to touch some grass.
Touch some grass, kneel down and pray. Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Just to get that grounding, touching the grass, the
yes,
ground, walking
grounding.
Going to the beach, that grounding, it really does help.
Yes.
Really, really helps.
And one of them said earlier, leaving your phone inside, leaving your phone when you go out with your friends. Leave it home. Because chances are you're going to go on the phone. We have Miss Sydney. Is it? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I don't know if anybody knows, but people who go on YouTube, you could go in settings and you can also set a break time for like a specific like break time. So you could put it for 2:58 and it would pop up a notification and tell you, are you ready to take a break? You can press dismiss if you're not, or you can press yes. So those who go on YouTube, you can also do that.
Yes. So you see, they have structures in place for us to come away from it a little bit. All right. So I'm looking at the time. It's 11:55.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. You take back it.
Excellent segment, Debbie. Thank you so much for being here with the challenges in terms of Wi-Fi and being in the car in what looks like rain. I would like to ask, well, we only have a couple minutes left, so I want to propose two things. I know Savannah had some tips to help us manage our social media exposure. I don't know if Savannah, did did we miss anything based on what the young lady suggested?
I think they did a great job in answering that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's the
Excellent.
same, it's basically the same thing. So
Right, so, and this is the thing about this project. You young ladies pretty much did a lot of our work for us today. And I want to thank all of you for that. Now, we definitely trying to stick to schedule this semester. So I have an idea. Normally, what we've done is we dedicate the first segment to a lot of you introducing yourselves and the countries you're from and what you like. However, so that everyone gets a fair shake, I'm thinking maybe next week, if you guys come back, we could start this segment with you telling us who you are, now that you have an idea of who we are. Right? I would love for you guys to come back in next week, Saturday, and tell us, what your name is. Tell us a little bit about yourself based on what your name is. Tell us about the country that you're from. So I propose, and again, this is a democracy, I propose that we dedicate some time next week to you coming back to tell us who you are. What do you girls, well, what do you gems think about this? You all agree? I'm seeing some yeses, some shows, some claps.
Yes.
And this is the time for you guys to put on your camera and say, yes, I need evidence, so that when I go back to Simone and Debra and them and say, but the girls want to come back.
Let's get a screenshot of all of you. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes, all the smiles. Let's capture it.
Yeah. Put those cameras on and let's get a yes. Put those microphones on, let's get a yes.
Yes. You did it. She's right.
Yes, it's me.
And listen, next week when you come, I want to hear your expectation of the program. What you expect in 2023. Let us know what you expect. What do you want to see? Yeah.
No,
It'll be good to hear from the girls.
instead of closing off with bye-bye,
Yes.
I want us to end with some yes. I want us to end with some positivity, some commitment.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Abigail says
Yes,
How's it been for everybody? You enjoyed it?
yes.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, let's get some thumbs ups. I want the thumbs up so that I have my
Let's get a
evidence.
thumbs up. You enjoy it? Was it good? Okay, yeah, let's get a thumbs up on the screen or the hand. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, wow.
So I think we've done an excellent job today. I'm gonna hand back over to the founder, to the boss lady herself, the organizer. Simone, anything you want to close us off with?
Oh, Chicago, that didn't sound too good then, the boss lady. Right, I think I just muted someone, right? Because it's just the
wind.
Yeah, but I just want to say, Tanisha, thanks very much for being so interactive, despite she speaks Dutch. I think the program has really gone to a different level, including, Rubia and the translating and all of that. I think it really has taken things to a different level. So thanks so much, Tanisha, for, asking questions and commenting. Yes,
One thing, Marsha.
Oh yes, we got Marsha. Where were you? Marsha has to have her time.
We ending on a high note today. Marsha, you want to introduce yourself to the young ladies?
Hi, everyone, of course. So it was a pleasure being here. And actually, first of all, I am Marsha Sewdass, and I was actually thrilled to hear a different language, simply because what I do as a mindset and communication coach is that I love to work with people to build English fluency. So I was thrilled to hear a different language. So I would love to hear next week all those of you who are skilled to be balancing two languages. I would love to hear that, because that is a skill you have that some of us don't. So, be thrilled about that, right? So it was a very lovely program. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank the organizers for having me here as well, and look forward to all the other weekends that we will be together.
Thank you. And this is a promise I'm making. There was so much in the chat we couldn't even tell you guys during the episode. But when you go back and you look at the recording, I'm going to make sure that everything you put in the chat pops up on screen. So even if we didn't say it, that doesn't mean that it's not on the record. So you guys look out for this. I thank you so much for your being here. For those of you in the UK, right? For those of you in Dominica, Guyana, Suriname, Grenada, Canada, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Lucia,
See the Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos, the US. I should not have started calling countries, because I might forget somebody else and have to apologize for it. Grenada, and I feel we have a Antigua, somebody in here.
Yeah, there's supposed to be somebody from Antigua.
Dominica, Dominica is my second home. I mean, I haven't been there yet, but I'm coming.
Letting
Right?
you know we're not the only Trini here.
Alina. We're so happy to have Alina. Young Alina with us. Alina, you enjoyed the program?
Yes, I did. I love the
Wow. I mean, Alina, I'm so proud of you. You're just so amazing.
Thank you.
Keep on shining your light.
She's a little gem.
And
Just the day Alina was a baby.
Wow.
And
Time goes so fast.
special thank you to Marilyn. Marilyn, I see you join us earlier. Thanks. Guyana support has been amazing.
Yeah.
Guys, I cannot wait because next week's segment is supposed to be about self-esteem and mental well-being. And I can't think of any better way for us to build some self-esteem than for us to come here to tell everyone else who we are. So I look forward to your introductions. You all have a great lunch or dinner, supper, as the case may be. For those of us who 5 hours ahead, get something nutritious to eat, right? Go outside, touch some grass. If you can't touch some grass, at least open our window and get some fresh air, right?
Yeah.
And remember, guys, a girl empowered is a gem.
Yes.
And we have
And
lots of gems.
a girl empowered is a community empowered.
Amen.
All right. Thanks so much.
Amen. Lots of love from Dominica.
Oh, yeah.
You see the mountain?
Oh, it's beautiful. We will
Wow.
be there.
And green.
Debra.
Wow.
Marlin Puri.
Wow. Check it out.
You have to make a trip to Dominica.
Hey, Marie, your mom is right. Open the window, get some fresh air.
One spot by the river. When last you have that bush cook for Guyana?
Oh gosh, Debra, you're tempting us. We'll be there. We'll be there.
We're coming on tour. The Sapphire Miriam Foundation. Come on, girls. We got to get the credits.
Oh yes, we'll definitely be heading to Dominica. Let's hope it's not too long.
All right, guys.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful, wonderful session. Thanks very much to everyone. Thank you, Savannah, for sharing, your experiences with the girls. Thanks so much. Just can't say enough. This segment, it's made me realize a lot of things. The fact that we have so many people equipped, to carry on the session is really amazing, that things could just, take on a life of its own. A dream that was a dream, 12 years ago is now, a reality, and it can, function without me. I think that really matters a lot, that people can see a dream and jump on board and, things can happen. So I just want to thank everybody, it's really, really, really amazing, and things could only get better moving from strength to strength. So thanks, guys. Look forward to next.
Love alone.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone in their t-shirts, Sapphire Miriam Foundation. Hopefully I'll have mine soon. Yeah, it really is.
Amazing.
Everybody.
All the love that everybody is shown.
Wow. Next week.
God bless your day.
Next week, yes.
God bless your time. And I am going to play one more song. You all take it easy and God bless.
Not 12:04 Atlantic Standard Time. Have a wonderful day, guys. See you next week, Saturday, 10 o'clock.